Kuamua Kamuri, walking backwards into the future. We used this whakatauki to guide our work this year, taking the time to look into what we have already done as a kura to inform our work for the future. The focus of our team's inquiry was to continue to build the capacity of our staff to incorporate greater use and knowledge of te reo, tikanga, and mātauranga Māori. While we've been working on this inquiry for the last few years, we are on our journey towards becoming more culturally sustaining and taking steps each year further along that path. The strand of the rubric that we have seen the most change with was Ngā Whakapirinātanga, the learning environment. The focus of this rubric is around creating a collaborative and engaging learning environment where learners are active participants in their own learning. By building the capacity of staff to incorporate greater use and knowledge of te reo, tikanga, and mātauranga Māori to meet the needs of our learners, we are working towards creating an environment that is collaborative, student-centered, and culturally sustaining. This year, our team has delivered consistent professional development to the whole staff. These PLD sessions were informed by feedback from previous years, which suggested that our kayako wanted tangible teaching and learning tools to use in the classroom. Knowing this, we used these sessions to model to our staff the culturally responsive and sustaining pedagogies we wished them to emulate. This was the need that we felt should be addressed. In these sessions, we focused on the importance of tikanga in our kura, and have taught our staff karakia, which they have been encouraged to use in their classes and hui. We also explored the stars of Matariki and the pūrako of the surrounding celebrations. Finally, in collaboration with our senior leadership team, we shared the journey our kura has been on and the strategic vision for what is next. One example of this was a simple activity designed to provoke reflection. The activity had kayako identify how different aspects of the stars of Matariki might reflect different areas of teaching and learning. As this activity was run during Matariki, it had a great relevance and buy-in from the staff. Us, along with our senior leadership team, have also worked to build a relationship with mana whenua. We had the privilege of having Robin from Te Kawaro Āmaki come to our kura to share both iwi pūrako and the work that has been done by the iwi in association with other schools. Core educators in Mātauranga Māori also came and ran workshops during a staff-only day to inspire and teach our kayako about what Mātauranga Māori can look like in our learning spaces. So, what impact has this had on the capacity of our kayako, and how do we know? Across the year, we have seen an increase in the use of karakia at school as learning area leaders have begun to open and close hui with karakia. Similarly, there has been an increase in the use of karakia at full staff hui towards the end of this year. Looking forwards, our hope is that every class and every hui is open and closed with karakia. Furthermore, there's also been an increase in the use of te reo Māori learning design model, tukanga whakaaro. This has become a widely used and visible practice amongst teachers, as most kayako have their learning objectives in both te reo Māori and te reo Pākehā. Similarly, the use of te reo Māori and Māori concepts used in course descriptions has increased over the course of the year. In Term 3, our kura hosted and facilitated a fortnightly te reo Māori course for our akonga, kayako, whānau, and wider community. This course has had very good uptake, not only from students and staff, but also from a range of members of our local community. The feedback around this has been very positive. However, when looking at the achievement data of our Year 9 and 10 akonga Māori, we can see that between the end of Year 9 and the middle of Year 10, of our 21 akonga Māori, 8 have not moved curriculum level. However, the same number of akonga, 8, have moved 3 curriculum sublevels in the same amount of time. At the middle of Year 10, 16 out of 21 of our akonga Māori in this cohort were below the expected curriculum level of 5P. Overwhelmingly, our akonga who have not moved curriculum levels over the 6 months and are below 5P are the tāne, making up 5 of the 8 who have not seen progress. This is most definitely an area for growth. Student achievement is a prime indicator of how effective our teaching and learning practices are. The achievement of akonga Māori tells us whether our work around CSP is actually making a difference for learners. We are looking forward to seeing this data improve next year. So, what do we do now? We know our work is not done, and that we need to continue to listen to the needs of our akonga and kaiako. In order to collect staff voice, staff were asked to consider Nahui Fa, the four winds. These are Te Horahi, the north wind, which is tautoko or support, Te Horawhiti, the east wind, which is moimoia or our dreams, Te Hotonga, the south wind or our whittle, challenges, and Te Ho'auru, the west wind or patai, questions. The information gathered through this has worked to inform our next steps. This feedback suggested that we were able to incorporate rich new stories and knowledge into what we share with staff in order to build their capacity for culturally sustaining pedagogy. We were also able to pivot the future direction of our work for 2022 with our staff so that we were more directly meeting their needs. So what now? Now that we have looked back at the year, it is now time to think about how this work might inform our future. Looking forward into next year, our focus will stay the same. We will continue on the journey of building the capacity of our staff to incorporate greater use and knowledge of te reo, tikanga, and mātauranga Māori. This will look like focusing on supporting teachers to engage in and use pedagogy that the research tells us works for our Māori students. We are wanting to support our kaiako to develop a year-long inquiry around one or two aspects of culturally sustaining practice that each person can personally invest in. We are also planning to get alongside other middle leadership teams at our kura, including the Learning Design team, the Learning Area team, and the Learning Community team, to ensure that this work is something that happens across our kura. We are looking forward to some awesome mahi we can continue to do next year. Karawhiua.